The Governance Committee meeting. The only thing on the agenda for this meeting is the TSEC application for $75,000 project expenditure. We've done this for a number of years. This is, as you all know, TSEC is instrumental to the success of the accelerator. They maintain our equipment. They pass through a lot of grant dollars. The $75,000 helps them maintain that equipment and, track and then report as necessary to the state. So
it's up a little bit from last year.
Correct, it was 50 last year. And so they had asked if it would be possible to request a little more. And I told them I certainly thought that was possible, and then it's up to you guys. But that's the request on the table for 75.
What's the major?
Why the increase?
Yeah, what's the major?
Newburgh Accelerator, Middletown Accelerator, and now you got the Warwick Accelerator, and
So
And Highland
just
Falls
more, we're doing
forthcoming.
more.
Yeah.
Okay, that's reasonable.
Right.
more equipment, more maintenance, more everything.
And then the grant monies, of course, because as we go into Highland Falls, we'll need some grant dollars to
Of
help
course.
fill up the building.
Okay,
I'm okay.
I'm fine with it. Some,
Second.
on there.
Aye.
Okay, that's it. We adjourn.
Wonderful.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay. On our agenda, Chair DeSalvo, we have the Craftify labor audit exemption request. So in front of you, you have a report from Local Grill, who's reviewed the exemption request. Essentially for drywall, but their recommendation based on the backup is to approve the waiver because they have a price point differential that is 19.54 and 71%, and an adequate number of bids have been received. So Local Grill is recommending approval for the waiver, and then we would grant that to Craftify if you so agree.
Mike, we can't get drywall guys to sharpen their pencil?
I disagree on this, but there's nothing, who's voting? Who's voting?
The three of us.
Three of you.
Okay, then I'll vote no.
Okay.
Talk to me though. That's why I just asked you.
No, I talked to the carpenter, he sent them plenty of drywall contractors, so I guess if their numbers are too high, I guess, I don't know, I didn't see the numbers, but.
They're in there.
They're in the packet.
Plenty of drywall contractors. According to the carpenter, they never got called, but. I don't know.
Marquis Drywall, Tri-State Drywall, Paramount Building Construction,
So it's
J&B Drywall.
J&B Insulation is the one that's doing the drywall?
Yeah.
The 12,850?
Mhm.
Yeah, they're in Jersey. Yeah.
And who's B&B Drywall?
Let's see. J&B installation drywall, yeah.
Who's B&B Drywall?
I don't know.
Are they local?
Tri-State is Sparrow Bush.
They're out of Sparrowbush?
JB is in Jersey. Huh?
JB Insulation Drywall is Warwick? Oh, that's in,
Oakland, New Jersey.
that's not, sorry, that's Oakland, New Jersey, yeah.
Oh, they're all here.
Yeah.
J&B, on my page,
I don't see B&B. But he's saying that
where is
they,
it coming? What page is it?
That's the last page.
I don't see B&B.
That's J&B.
I don't see B&B. But is B&B local?
J&B, where was it, 12.8, okay, here's 15.9.
You want me to get Kevin on the
What's the
phone?
percentage?
Kevin from Local Grill?
10%?
Well,
10% on this one, yeah.
I thought it was 19.
No, the threshold is 10%.
Oh, okay.
because
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
small
Oh, it's at
project.
19. But I
You
mean,
want me to get Kevin from Local Grill?
well, the only reason why.
I talked to Cal.
Oh, you did already.
Well, if anybody wanna go, I'll call Mr. Carpenter.
Well, who's B&B
Go for him. Tri-State is 15,9. J&B is 12.8, that's who they're using. And they got me a state comp?
I didn't talk to Kevin about that, but I was to do what they did, because that's part of the checklist. that
Yes.
Kevin asked
Yeah. So I wanna see one contract.
for. B&B Drywall is, they have Jersey and Pennsylvania addresses on Google.
J&B.
B&B.
I'm assuming that there's probably 1,000 B&B.
I'm sure you're right. Yeah, there's some.
So I see one quote.
I see
On the note, it says B&B Drywell 15K. Also, I don't think these guys have full insurance, so they wouldn't be able to use them
I
anyway.
don't, yeah,
It's in the
that I don't
note.
understand though. That to me kinda sounds,
Well, because if they're out of state and they don't have New York State insurance, then we wouldn't include them anyway. So one of the requirements that Kevin and Loki Brill have to
Yeah.
go through is that they have the appropriate New York
but
State
they would submit a
insurance.
bid if they couldn't ascertain or couldn't acquire their insurance.
Well, they would, listen, the reason that we have this labor policy is because people would show up on the job, pretend they had the insurance, and then, run call it floor, wouldn't be able to.
I guess-
Loki drills,
Well, I guess they're already there working, so I assume they gave it to without a vote yet. So they're working on site now, J&B.
are they doing other work?
They're working. Yeah,
They're hanging rock.
yeah,
They're hanging rock already?
yeah, they're on site.
Wow.
So they're there, they're ready to get the approval.
Well,
Let me call Kevin,
Yeah.
You know, you're trying to move a job. I don't have a problem if in their mind they think they're right and they're moving ahead.
I guess they're doing it on the basis that Kevin Wilkie is saying
He recommends
he's
it.
gonna recommend that you get it.
hey, Kevin, it's Laurie Diasuso with the Orange County IDA, how are you?
Hey, good, Laura, yourself?
Good, thank you. I'm here in audit committee with Mike Gatos, John Steinberg, and Jim DeSalvo.
Okay.
And we're going over the request for exemption for the drywall installation at the brewery site.
Correct, JB installation, right?
Right, so there are a few
Okay.
questions that the members have about this. One is that they're on site already working,
Yes.
and why would that be?
Why would that be?
Yeah.
I'm not sure the reason as to why they might already be on site. Mike had told me that he expected these guys to be on. And then I told him that basically the IDA has the final say in the approval of the waivers. So.
Yeah, my question is, yeah, Kevin, if we're gonna give a waiver, why is he on site already?
I don't have the answer to that question.
I guess he shouldn't be, is the answer, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So then there again,
When he said Mike, he meant Mike Cray, the project operator. Just
oh,
so you know. I know, well, I'm saying that just as for clarity's sake.
okay.
So that's what, when
So
he
yeah,
said
so
Mike.
Kevin, so yeah, he's there working already without approval, so that would be contradicting to
If
the,
I'm not mistaken, this isn't the first time that that's happened with Craftify, where they've assumed that they were getting an exemption and they go and brought somebody on. But there were, in addition, Kevin, there have been some questions about the bids that were received. There are some street cap text messages. Are those, like, who's who in those text messages?
So, I thought that I made that note in there. Hold on 1 second, I just wanna, cause he sent me both of these with the information on them. Give me just 1 second so I can, specify for you.
Probably the first page is at B&B.
Just give me a second, I'm getting in front of my computer here.
Okay, so we only have one competing proposal. The other
No,
four.
there should be 4 competing proposals that he sent us.
Okay,
He sent us 4 additional bids, and asked 4 different companies, and in fact, we had to verify the information on some of those to make sure that the submission that was sent to him matched all of the details of the work that JB Installation was doing. So I'm just looking this up here real quick.
Kevin, this is John Steinberg, and
Hi, John.
in the package that we have only
Yeah.
2 bids.
No, I just got it. So, Kelly, you were
One
right.
of
So,
those is for,
yeah, hang on.
one of those is
Hang
for
on just a
B&B
second, Kevin.
drywall, okay.
Hang on just a sec. So, in front of you, right? So this one that's right here is the PVC bid, right? So this, they forwarded the PVC bid at 44.9.
Got ya.
So then the next page, and I just did this, I went through process of elimination, so the first text message screen cap.
44.9?
44.9 is at the bottom of this page. Yep.
There it is. Oh,
Bottom of that page.
On the bottom of that, okay. Yeah.
So then you skip the next page because that's just the signature page, right? The first screen cap text message is B&B.
Yes, B&B drywall, the 1914 number,
Right,
and the other one is for Mark Giza drywall, or
Right.
Giza, I'm not
Giza,
sure.
yeah. And then obviously Tri-State and JB are behind those two. So we do have all of the bids. I mean,
Correct.
text message
Now,
behind them was.
to be honest with you, I mean, could Mike have made more of an effort and more phone calls to find a local contractor? I think the answer to that question is yes. Because, there's certainly more than 4 drywall companies that are in the area. I mean, however, how it's written and what he submitted to us, he submitted us everything in order to approve, this waiver. I mean, he was able to send us other competing bids from local vendors that did show that. And, knowing him, wouldn't surprise me if he had been in contact with this company, before he even reached out to us about the waiver. He's been short with me on the weekly labor reports for the last couple of weeks, and he's been late delivering them to me. And frankly, I don't think
Well,
that
that's
he
good information to
necessarily
have.
takes this responsible correctly.
Right.
All right. I'm good.
Okay.
Thanks, Kevin.
I think, well, I'm gonna keep you on the phone, Kevin, while they vote, because it's public anyway, because I think you're gonna have some information to deliver after this vote.
I didn't realize we're live streaming too, so.
Yeah, and we're live streaming, I should have probably told you that when I put you on the phone. Yeah, would you like to approve the request for exemption for craft supplies project?
I will be a no vote because A, he's already on site, and B, in line with what you just told me, Kevin, that he's not been turning in the proper paperwork after he's been asked numerous times, so mine is a no.
I'm a no too.
I'm a yes because you recommended it, Kevin.
Sorry, Kev.
Okay. All right, so we'll
So-
follow, yes, go ahead.
If I could just say something here, when we're looking at waivers and local companies, I think that, Mike Gatos has helped me out a lot to find local resources in the area for other, waiver situations I've run into. And I think that perhaps maybe it would be valuable as part of protocol for this might be going, on our end, going to these local companies and, the building trades associated with whatever ones they might be, to really say, hey, is there really no one else? I mean, because if we say that you just send us 4 bids from local vendors that, are a better price than this out-of-area company, are a much higher price, then, I mean, that's kind of doing the bare minimum, whereas could there have been more effort made on his end? Could there be more efforts made on the applicant's end to try to find more sources for local labor? I think that there certainly can be.
Kevin, I
just don't
spoke,
know if that's appropriate.
I spoke to the carpenter, actually, he called me, when I called you yesterday, he shot me a picture of that company working there. That's the reason I called you, but, I know for a fact that they gave him a list of contractors, and I know that the carpenter targeted, which means they gave discounted rates, so I find it hard to believe that this guy contacted the list of contractors that they gave him, so that's, like, and you just even said you find it hard to believe he would have done that.
And I'll be honest with you, I mean, I do find that Mike might cry and bitch away. I mean, I'm not sure that he is taking the labor aspect of this project as seriously as he is getting the job done in time. I think that is his biggest priority, and I think that oversees his obligations to the IDA, if I may be so frank.
Okay.
Right. But so that I'm clear, Kevin, what you're asking is if it would be appropriate for you and Jim, or just you, or maybe you in conjunction with Mike, to visit some of our local contractors to kind of get the word out, to get back to bids, or to be more active?
I think in general, for them to just submit us bids might not be enough, because let's say someone in Mike Cry's instance who doesn't have a big background in the construction industry to begin with, he might not be aware of the other resources available outside of, you know, just a handful of companies he may have reached out to. He may be missing out on other local vendors that can supply local workers to do the job. So
I'm looking at
maybe
the
he
quote, Kevin, I'm looking at the quote, 15.9 for tri-state, and it's, so it's basically 13,000 versus 16,000. So $3,000. The guy's coming from Jersey alone, a local company, and you're talking, I just don't know as if it even was.
Well, I think that this is a good conversation, maybe not to have today because we're on a time crunch, but figuring out
Yeah.
if there's a way that we can have a little bit of a fail-safe, like if Loki Brill does a little bit of research on their own. I mean, I know that Kevin and Jim try to work with the contractors to point them in the right direction when they're not getting the right kinds of bids. So maybe what you're suggesting, and just correct me if I'm wrong, Kevin, is that you might do a little bit of a step further, where if they have received, you know, X number of bids and you're finding that they've selected bids that were maybe higher than they should be, just to get the approval for the outside contractor, then maybe you would get some bids on your own. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, I just think that there needs to be, and there can be, I mean, if
Like a
we're
measuring
really
stick.
trying to make this labor policy, you know, trying to take this seriously, I think that we should offer other contacts. You know, like if he only has these companies listed, we can say, well, hey, have you reached out to company A, B, C, D, or E here on this list? And have you received a bid for them? Because there are other local companies in the area perhaps you may have overseen in your process, and perhaps you just kind of did it hastily because you're trying to get the job completed in a timely fashion, and that particular job is behind, well behind its completion date when it was
Right.
supposed to be completed, which is in the fall. That being said, I think that more effort could have been put into that process.
Okay. So we'll take that. Mike, maybe you and I will call Kevin and talk
And
about
I'm
some.
okay, I mean, if the contractors are over the percentage, I'm okay with the policy written as it is, but,
Just a matter of making sure they're doing the correct due
yeah.
diligence.
So like you said before, you even got the okay to do so, he's there on site working, so that's
Yeah.
kinda like. And then you
And
said
as I
he
said,
didn't,
Mike,
and then he
your
didn't,
help
and then he
with
didn't
me
give you the
is-
paperwork either, so.
Oh, and yeah, I mean, and I've been out on vacation, and I come back and he's been slow with sending me things, and I mean, this is nothing new, but I don't think that there's necessarily a way that you're gonna change his attitude toward this, unfortunately. I don't think that that's his
Yeah.
priority at this point.
Right.
And again, I don't mean to be negative about it, but I'm just being realistic as far as what I've seen.
Well,
Yeah.
Kevin, don't say that, because we want to start 2020 out right, so if we have to call back
Absolutely.
something, we would.
Right. That's what they're
Yeah.
here for. Okay, thank you so much for your time, and we'll be talking soon. Thank you, Kevin.
Of course.
Bye-bye.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so it failed. We'll follow up with Kelly, if you will get in touch with Kevin after the fact, then we'll notify Craftify.
Yeah.
At this point then, what
Do you
we'll
want
have.
him to appear before you again? Or not?
So,
No, I don't. I think, doesn't think it matters.
Again?
I think he just, if the more he keeps sending paperwork, we'll just keep denying it. Then maybe that'll,
well, it doesn't, the point here is, right, that they are on site and working, so even though the waiver is denied, so now there's a violation of the policy, which
Right.
could institute either a
Right.
recapture
You
or
got two
a
violations,
fee.
the guys on site and the
Right.
paperwork
And the
not
It's
turned in.
okay.
Right,
Yeah.
okay, so we'll,
For the second part.
for the second.
you don't have to take the money and the pilot and
Right.
this and that. You come here, you get the benefits. I understand you want to move the job forward, but you don't have to come here.
No, I hear you.
So,
Right, agreed.
We want you here,
what?
but.
No.
Apply.
You gotta do the
Do
right thing.
Do right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, well, if there's nothing else on the agenda,
Motion to adjourn?
No.
Oh,
no?
Let's just talk a little bit.
Sure.
oh, I know.
Off record, on record.
No, on record.
On record. Because we're saying he didn't do a good enough job of finding local contractors. That's one of our issues here, right?
I don't,
One of them.
Is it a question you want me to answer?
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's probably a combination. You know, and I appreciate what Kevin was saying about, trying to make an extra effort but I mean, like, you know, after a while, like, you know, these jobs that are, you know, several $100,000, multi-million dollars, like, I get to a point, like, who's running the show? Like, you know, what kind of games are we playing here? You come in and you get a $5 million IDA package or a $2 million IDA package because you're working on a $10 million deal.
Right.
You know, who do you have? You have an 8th grader working out, who's getting what? I mean, you know, I don't mind helping you out, and we're here as a resource. We're here to make sure that, you know, you invest in the Orange County, but, you know, after a while, how much do I hold your hand? You know, you can't get 10 contractors on the phone? Grab a blue book, grab a yellow pages, go on Google. I mean, it's not, I mean, come on, you could run the whole job from your
I
phone.
mean, Kevin called me, and I called the carpenter. We gave
That's what I'm
him this.
saying.
So,
And I don't mean this, no disrespect to Mike, but you don't need to call Mike. Get on Google and Google 10 companies in Orange County. Come on. It's just, you know.
Whether you Google or whether you call Mike either.
Whatever.
Well, I think my question is, how hard do we want guys to work? If you get 5 bids, is that enough? You want 10 bids? You want 3 bids?
No, 3 or 4 or 5 bids is fine.
Okay.
But
so
make sure you're getting them
the
in
bids is
Orange
enough,
County.
but you gotta be in Orange County.
Yeah.
And.
Or actually, it's the Hudson Valley.
Well,
It's
yeah,
the labor policy,
Hudson
right.
Valley.
Okay, Hudson Valley, okay.
Just follow the labor policy, that would be
Just-
great.
And the other thing is, okay, 4 or 5's enough, but certainly we don't want the guy starting the job
Right.
before he gets his waiver.
Yeah.
Unless we have some process where he can call somebody up and say, yeah, okay, I've done this, is this all right?
Yeah.
Because we only meet once a month, maybe the guy's trying to move the job.
I'm a
Well,
little,
remember, we can meet anytime.
Yeah.
Audit committee can meet anytime.
I'm a little tolerant on that aspect, only because of the size of the job. A $15,000 drywall job is,
Right.
you know, it's not even, it's a garage, it's a, you know, it's an oversized.
6,000 square feet.
Yeah, it's a 4-bay garage, so I mean, like, it's not like a huge thing.
Right.
And I wouldn't dismiss that, and I'd say, if everything else was legit, like totally legit, I would've said, let's do a little slap the hand letter and, you know, give them the exemption. But it's recurring with this fella, with this particular company.
And my position has changed, because I voted yes before, but after I heard Kevin, I would
Yeah.
vote no now.
Yeah.
So, but I think spending a little time to make sure that we have some consensus as to what we want our people to do when they have an exemption. 4 or 5 jobs is okay, don't start the work before
I
you get the
that is
exemption.
clear in the
found
policy.
a lot of times, if the person is willing to try, it can almost be accomplished.
Come on.
If he's not willing, it's never gonna happen.
Well,
Right.
that's
I think
true.
what happened here.
Yeah,
The
and
very simple solution to this would have been, you know, I have my bids, I know Loki Brill is getting it to you, is it okay if I start, you know, anything
Yeah.
like that, where we can have a conversation with the audit committee? It's
Uh-huh.
a very simple, I'll call to Kelly, call to Melanie, or call to me.
Right.
In this situation, because it's,
phone call.
right.
It's a phone call.
And this has happened
It's a phone
before
call.
with this project, so it just, it's a
I'd
little bit
approve it in a
flagrant.
heartbeat.
at this point.
It's a total phone call. Hey, we reached out to 5 different contractors in Orange County or the Hudson Valley area.
The
We
paper's
can't
on its
find
way,
it.
but I can't
We
wait.
can't find it. We
Right.
got a guy, you know, it's a small job. We're gonna move forward. These are the 10 reasons why we, you know, whatever, the exemption. Yeah, it's a phone, again, it's a phone call.
Easy.
I think these came out like in the 90s or
Wow, no.
something, so,
But I
but
mean,
they weren't this big.
I think that's fair, and I think it's very clear in the labor policy what you should and shouldn't do. It's also very clear that work is not to start until the waiver is granted.
Right.
So, I mean, that in and of itself is kind of an issue. And I will say,
Well, it's a
I'm sure
little-
Loki Brill got this to us before J&B showed up on site. It's
And,
just
and you know,
wicked.
it is a little bit of a sticky
This
wicket
was
though.
yesterday.
No, they
No,
got
it's
us this
December 20.
paperwork
Oh,
from
this came-
December
this picture
20th.
was
Oh,
sent
the picture was yesterday, right, so they didn't wait for the approval.
Right.
And I didn't know that they were, nobody,
Me neither.
again, I
This
didn't get a
just-
phone
this
call
just
saying,
happened.
the time is of the essence and I need to get started now.
But,
Would have changed it.
but my
We would've
point is
convened earlier.
that Loki Brill must have said to him, I'm gonna recommend the
Yeah,
exemption,
I'm sure he did.
right?
I think he did.
And
Yeah,
so,
but it sounded like you also said, but you're not supposed to start till
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's granted. That's
You get
both.
You had the last words.
right,
Yeah.
so,
They're like me, they hedge it, you know, they're gonna say, I'm
Yeah.
recommending this, but
Right.
it's not my call, and the board can vote any way they want, so.
that's what we need.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, all right.
All right.
You guys adjourning
I think so.
Thank you for the extra
No,
5 minutes.
no, it's all right.
I wanted to sort of stroke that a little bit.
Sounds like it's getting good over there.
I know. Wow, okay, and now we can slow